Hello. So this is now the part 2 and we're going to continue what we started on Monday on equality. At the end of this video, you are going to solve about 6 problems and then graph them as well in a number line, and you are going to submit your work in ManageBack. So it's pretty much the same thing, except that on Monday you did solve one-step and two-step inequation, and for this video we're going now to go ahead and extend your learning about inequation, and you will be given problems that will require multi-step. Okay, so you will have two same questions. How are you going to solve inequality when it's multi-step inequation? And how are you going to show your solution in a number line? For your first example of multi-step inequation, you have a term that has a variable on the left, and at the same time, you have it also at the right side of your inequation symbol. And you have a constant here on the left and constant on the right side. It's up to you which strategy you're going to use. You can put together all like terms on one side and then put the other group of terms to the other side. So you can do that by combining terms with variables, and then on the right side you can also combine all those terms that are constants. For this example, I'm going to show you a step-by-step one. Okay, so the first step I'm going to do is I am going to add 2x on both sides. I use the smaller term with variable and use the opposite. So this is minus 2x, I'll do plus 2x. I added 2x on both sides so that in this left side of the inequation, 5x plus 2x is 7x, and I just copy plus 3. To the other side of inequation, I have 10. Negative 2x plus 2x is 0, so that will be gone. And I shall continue. This time I am going to use the smaller value of constant, which is 3, and I'm going to use the opposite. So plus 3, I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. So on the left side you will only have 7x because 3 minus 3 is 0. And then here 10 minus 3, you have a 7. We are now down to one-step equation. You are going to divide both sides by 7, and then you will have x is greater than or equal to 1. We now have an answer. Now it's time to graph the solution. I will have the number line, and on my number line I have my reference value, which is 1. Because our inequation has equal or includes equal, that means when I draw the circle it will be shaded, and x that are bigger than 1 goes to the right, so the arrow goes to the right. Okay, you can watch this again if you got confused at some point, and then don't wait until the last part until you try to understand this problem. Now, same thing, I would just like to remind you that if I have explained this to you on the other video wherein you have a negative x, and then I said you don't accept negative x, and we can do that by using the strategy of dividing both sides by -1. If we do that, we will end up with positive x, but we inverse or use the opposite symbol of the previous one when we divide it by a negative value. Okay, so when you multiply and divide or divide an inequality by a negative, you must reverse the sign. Okay, so now I am going to show you an example on how to solve using distributive law with brackets. Going to multiply -3 to 2x, which is 6x, then multiply the term outside the brackets to inside 7. -3 multiplied by 7 is -21. Copy the same symbol for there, and then -9x. Okay, now going back to the same thing, I'm going to use the smaller value of the term with a variable negative 6x and using the opposite. So add 6x on both sides. Okay, so on the left we will have a 0, so I'll just copy minus 21, copy the same symbol, negative 9x plus 6x will give you negative 3x. We are down to two-step equation. We divide both sides by the coefficient, which is a negative 3, divide by negative 3. So you will have negative 21 divided by negative 3 is positive 7. Copy the symbol. Okay, but remember that when the last step is dividing or multiplying by a negative, you have to reverse your symbol. So from a less than or equal to, it became greater than or equal to. On this side, negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1x. So 7 is greater than or equal to x. We are now going to draw the number line and make sure you have your reference number or value 7 down here. And then because this has equal, your circle has to be shaded. There you go. And then your x, your 7 is bigger of all your x's. So that means that you are going to go to the left. And that is our last example. Now you have practice questions here. And make sure that you go over once again because it may be confusing. So go back and watch it again. And then if you can't understand, then chat with me, send me an email or an appointment, or you can just use consultation time. Okay. Solve all 6 problems and then graph them as well, and then take a photo of your work and upload it in ManageBack. Title of the task is Inequality Part 2. Sorry, I was not able to use or change this one, but this is Part 2. Okay, bye.